It's time to go infinite once again in Standard Hearthstone with Infinite Starship DK. However, while it is named this, we can also use Infinite Reska, Ceaseless Expanse as alternate win conditions. Essentially, the game plan is we are going to be using Adaptive Amalgam to give its Deathrattle to any of the mentioned minions. Hopefully a humongous starship that will have one spell burst, a bunch of defense crystals, and at least 3 soulbound spires in order to make it where we'll be summoning 3 minions per turn, and then we essentially can always use Corpsicle if our opponent gets rid of them each turn while protecting our minion by shuffling it back into the deck before they can do anything with it. Alright, now for the Mulligan guide of the list, you are going to be looking for any of the early game removal tools such as Frost Strike. Then you're going to be looking for any early game minions such as Miracle Salesman, Brittlebone Buccaneer. It is also worth mentioning if you see Adaptive Amalgam plus a Death Growl and any of the really good targets, then you're probably going to want to keep those also. Now, with all being said, let's look at some games. Okay, time for a game against Druid. Let's see what they have in store for us. I'm assuming this is... there's actually a few Druid decks floating around. We have Hero Power, we have Dragon, we have Highlander, we have Dungar also, which is probably the least interesting of the mix. I know Hero Power is probably the most annoying of the mix just because it, like, if you let them have a... There's been so many games. It's probably the matchup that I've seen the second most with this deck where I barely lose after setting up the infinite combo to Hero Power Druid. Okay, Creature of Madness. Slam down Miracle Salesman, might as well. Hopefully they don't get anything lucky here. Alright, let's get rid of the minion. Oh! Freeze isn't bad. I mean, that could be a lot worse for us. I don't mind them giving them Frost Strike. It looks bad, but I don't mind doing it. Horn of Winter is actually kind of fun. Not for this turn, for next turn, though. Frost Strike actually makes this matchup a little bit easier if it is exactly what I expect it to be. Hasn't really shown me anything that makes me think one way or another. Okay, so it is Hero Power. I'd assume it was Hero Power. Actually, they were kind of playing a little bit slow for it to be Hero Power, but yeah, it makes sense why it would be Hero Power. Cactus Construct, I think, is only really used by Hero Power at this point right now. Maybe Dragon Druid also uses it technically. I think I had it in Dragon Druid. Okay, there's Astral Phaser. Oh, what 3 call or oh yeah, I forgot we gave them the Frost Strike. Well, the good news is they basically protected our minion for a few turns. Amalgam's nice to see. Amalgam's really nice to see, actually. We can do Snake Oil into Defense Crystal. We could do Spire. But I think Defense Crystal would just be better right now. Swipe. Hurts a little bit, but at least we're armoring up, right? If we can top deck Death Growl next turn, we're in a really nice position. We do need to get rid of the minions before they snowball. Mosh Pit's interesting. Alright. Come on, RNG. Death Growl, please. Nope. We could coin out the Mosh Pit, but we don't need it, I don't think. Well, here comes the scaling. Well, the good news is we still have a 1 HP minion left. Ah, it doesn't matter if we got kind of combo. Alright, let's give it Reborn. Let's shuffle into our deck before it becomes a target for any type of silence. Okay, I mean, them getting rid of it is pretty nice because it just gives us armor. If we can get the other Death Growl, actually, you know what? We probably would have been in a... This might have been also a play where... Hang on. If we hadn't used our hero power there, we could have used Freebooter and got infinite Freebooters, which would have been annoying for them. I think the taunts are a little bit more annoying, especially because it will have Reborn too. I kind of just want to draw a few cards. Of course. Okay, that... Oh, probably is the worst minion that could have been. Everything else in the deck would have actually been good to get 3 copies of. Oh, maybe not Guiding Figure. Guiding Figure would have been kind of bad. Yup, Artanis. I mean, here's the thing. Oh, right. They have 2... That's a little bit annoying, but it does draw us a card, which is good. Sarah. Does Sarah do anything I need for a turn? Alright, 14. I almost want to launch the Starship just to launch it. Thinking about it, we could have done that a little bit different. Okay, let's get that Reborn. Use the... Yeah, we could have used the Buccaneer instead. Then we would have had 2 uses of it, or additional uses, which would have been good. Oh well. Actually... Oh wait, no, we're burning a card. Oh, please don't be something good. Okay, there's the Harbinger. I kind of just want to draw as many cards as humanly possible. Yeah, might as well put all the pieces in. Okay, what are we grabbing here? Well, that's not that good of a top deck. Perfect, that's going back into our list. And then we have the entire board again. And a boost. We're actually at a safe HP point right now. Kind of. Actually, maybe not as safe as I thought. If there's Corpse Goal. Soul Searching is good. Wait, we actually might be able to do the infinite combo. Okay, all we need is to hit Guiding Figure here, and we need a Death Growl. Guiding Figure and Death Growl, that's all we need. See if we can draw something cool. That is something cool. Yeah, might as well just do it like this. Set that up for next turn. Then all we need is the Death Growl, and then we're good to go. Okay, what are they hoping to get there? Oh, Corpse Explosion, right? Anything else doesn't do it. Not the card I would have chose there, but okay. Let's go! Okay, time for a game against Shaman. Let's see what they have in store for us. It's probably Terran Shaman, but I do know there are people getting a little bit more flexible with exactly what they're playing in Shaman. I know the Ysera Murmur lists are floating around. They're not actually that good, and probably for the better health of the game that they're not super powerful. But overall, like, I'm curious if it's going to just be Terran or not. Terran actually before probably would have been a pretty bad matchup for this deck just because they do have infinite hexes. But now that we don't have to deal with that, it's probably not that big of a deal. So it is Terran. But to be fair, they could be playing some off-meta variant of the list. Alright. Do I use the Frost Strike? I think we just Hero Power. There's Gold Panner. Alright, let's get rid of that minion. We're going to go with the AoE just because actually, I mean, next turn it isn't perfect curve. I mean, we can drop down an Amalgam, but this is one of those matchups where I don't want to slam down an Amalgam just on a blind board if I don't have to. The goal here would probably be slam down Amalgam after we slam down something that we're trying to go infinite with on the follow-up turn. Okay, let's get rid of that. Slam that into there. I mean, another AoE isn't really bad. We could get reap what we sow, but also worth mentioning, I'm amazed we haven't seen someone try to do like a Starship excavating DK list. Maybe someone has tried something like that out. I need to do something with excavating before it rotates. I just don't know what class I'm going to do. Shaman, I have another idea that I want to try to cover before rotation. So, well, Shaman is the funniest excavating thing that we could probably do. I don't know. It's going to be difficult to choose like which one I want to do. I think we might do Shaman, but I don't know how like interested. Well, I guess I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know how interested people would be seeing like Terran Shaman 8.0 or something. Also, we should be getting like a balance patch soonish, right before rotation, because they tend to do that. I think it's usually like a month out, right? Also, kind of why I don't want to get super far ahead on videos, because I have a sneaking suspicion the further I get ahead, like the worse luck we're gonna have with dealing with that. Okay. Okay, Brittle Bone's interesting. Wait, is there a way this does get rid of that, and then we could use Soul Searching, see what we can grab. Oh, 2 Spires is... no, Handler is just going to be better for now. Like, I know Spire would have actually been good for later on, but I don't know. I know people have been complaining about sound in the video. Hopefully that helps. I got a new headset recently, and I'm still trying to figure out the settings. Hopefully sometime, like, maybe, hopefully that fixes it. If it doesn't fix it, then maybe I'll figure it out a bit later. We'll see, though. Yeah, there's a few cards that I still really want to redo rotate. Velrock is another good example, but like Wishing Well Rogue is probably more important to me to revisit. At least it's not hitting my face. It does clear out the board, which kind of sucks, but like we do get everything revived, which is pretty nice. I guess they could launch the Starship. It does actually put Reska down to 0 mana, which is actually pretty cool. Okay, let's... I mean, it's not infinite... I mean, it is kind of infinite Starship pieces. However, really, the infinite is... Oh, there was a... doesn't really matter. Okay, let's go with Mosh Pit. Infinite Reskas, though, could be really, really funny in this matchup. And it's not like there's much that they can do about it. Establish a big board, we just take it all. I really wanted to do Infinite Helia with Plague DK before it rotated, and Helia was originally in this list, in the earlier versions of the list. I ended up cutting her just because it didn't make sense to run a one-off card, even though it, in theory, is really, really funny. Deck's just a little bit too slow, and there's also just enough people running KJ to make me frustrated trying to win with infinite plagues. Okay, is there a way for me to do 4 damage? Yeah, I mean, we're not drawing a card, which kind of sucks, but that. There goes our board. But yeah, the nice thing about this deck is, like, Ysera actually enables it weirdly way better than I could have ever expected. Infinite Corpuscles, if you have 3 Spires in rotation on whatever the big Starship that you have is pretty good if you can just do it turn after turn after turn. Never worry about fatigue, never worry about your opponent destroying the card. I know, like, Symphony of Sins does technically exist, and, like, Boom Boss, but, like, you just hope that no one's running those cards, right? Okay, let's give this Reborn, and then pass it. Part of me actually kind of wanted to put down the Ceaseless Expanse, but I think that would be a little bit of a waste. I'm hoping they hex the guide. Oh. We want to make sure they, like, get rid of the hexes before we, like, launch the Starship completely. It's also worth mentioning if you get multiple actually, worth mentioning, Guiding Figure is not a card you want to get infinite of because it's just not going to work well for you. Whenever you trigger the spell burst, it's just going to shuffle into your deck and it's not going to count as a Starship piece. I learned that the hard way, actually. Oh. Okay, let's get that Reborn. Get rid of 1 minion that way. Gain a little bit of armor. Hey, Creature of Madness, or new friend, I guess. Okay, Golgarath, Liftoff, and then probably AoE, I assumed. Liftoff number 2, interesting. Gotta AoE the board, right? They also kind of know what we're up to just because of, like... They're like, well, oh, interesting. That is a huge Starship. Ooh. We can AoE and draw a bit more. Okay. Corpuscle is going to be online for quite a bit. Okay, Fizzle is a little bit annoying, but it could be worse. Oh, it's our buddy, it's our pal, Reska. Actually, the other nice thing about this combo is the second minion you go infinite with, or after the first minion, you basically can go infinite with a lot of more options, if that makes sense, are easier, especially if you target Reska. Because if you target Reska, then you have a 0 cost instead of a 1 cost to do the combo with. And you can just slam it down and get a bunch of advantage, while also providing your Starship the ability to take an opponent's minion from them every time you start the cycle again. Like, It won't happen in most games. Actually, I don't think it happened a single time when I was playtesting this, but in theory it could, right? Okay, that is a big starship. We do have the Ceaseless Expanse, though, which is really, really nice. Oh, and there's the Amalgam. Yeah, let's use Ceaseless, and then we can use the Sarah. It doesn't actually really do anything besides just provide us with a body. And I'm assuming... Oof. That hurts. Could be worse, though. We did get rid of the Insidious quickly, so... Dirty rat. Get the Amalgam, I guess. Shutter block into Jim. Yep. Okay. Doesn't work for you because the fact that you can, in theory, fill your board with Marines is so nice for a deck like this. Okay. Oh, Bob. Okay. The question is, do we freeze the board or do we take a minion is the thing. I think it's freeze the board for now. Hero power and then just pass the turn. We actually might have wanted to attack into something. Okay, they have 5 cards left in hand. I think they burned the Fizzle snapshot earlier. I can't remember. 4 cards. I mean, technically they win, like, if... Okay, they did. I was thinking of... I faced so much Terran Shaman that the games merged together. I'm sorry. Kind of have to launch this, right? Okay, what minions are we grabbing here? Game? Give me something cool. Okay. Okay. I mean, we're not getting the infinite starships, which kind of sucks, but like, we also really should have attacked with the Ceaseless Expanse. That was a kind of a shame. Oh. Sure. There's Ceaseless. Oh, that's kind of tragic. Those are probably like the lowest 10 cost rolls that we could probably get. Okay, launch that. Wait, why didn't... Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna... It's been like a 20-minute game, so misplays are to kind of be expected.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Optics online. Let's go kill something.
Shutter block into... I don't actually know what you have left. Alright, we're just gonna do a Hail Mary play. Hopefully this draws us into Reska. Okay, we'll get rid of one minion, send down the other Milk Salesman. We should be fine. Oh well, we have about 100 HP. Okay, gym number 2. Are they going to be... I mean, they're still not going to get an entire board full of stuff. Or big spaceships, starships. Okay, we just need Reska. Oh, Deathcraw's funny. It's not Reska, but it's... There's Reska. Okay. We might as well do it like this, right? Infinite... Doubly infinite Reska Deathrattle. That seems pretty nice. Get rid of that. Grab the 4-2. Thank you very much. Take another big minion. Thank you very much. And might as well take another big minion. Thank you very much. I don't think there's anything you can do to stop us here. Should be GG.
Online. Let's go kill something.
And we'll just yoink that. And to be smart, we're just going to make sure this goes bye-bye. Alright, now that we're through the games, let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So, I played around 40 games with the deck, ended up with a 50% win rate, which actually was a bit higher than I originally expected. Overall, this deck actually is quite flexible in what it does. Sure, I named it Infinite Starship DK, however, a lot of the times you're probably going to win more matches by going Infinite with Reska. It's also worth mentioning, Defense Crystal is just a great card to go Infinite with, because if you can get this against some of the weapon-based decks that are floating around right now, you basically have a very easy time to win those matches. Overall, because of how flexible this deck is, and if you're a real big fan of Deathrattle before it rotates, try this one out. Overall, you'll probably have a pretty good time, and let me know how it turns out down below. But like always, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, bye-bye.